Hello. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. We'll be continuing with our series on information gathering. We've talked about the passive information gathering. We talked about how you can do a passive reconnaissance to know about your target. Now we'll be moving to active information gathering. And what we've said about active information gathering is interacting directly with your target. So basically, the website or the IP addresses we'll be using today is for educational purpose. And for whatever reason, we might not get the actual result because we are not going to deep down using somebody else's IP address. So let's roll into the deal of the day. So this is our outline. We'll talk about what is Nmap. Nmap is actually it is known as network mapper. What it does, it is an open source tool. If you go to nmap.org, you should be able to get this nmap download install. But basically, when you're using a Linux-based system, you will have this nmap tool pre-installed. And what it does for us is we use it for discovery and security auditing a whole lot more. Network discovering a whole lot more we do with nmap. But because this is an entry-level course, we'll be limited to stuff Nmap. Basically does UDP and TCP port scanning. UDP is a connectionless protocol where we have TCP. TCP is a direct, it communicates directly. It is connection. Yes, it is connection oriented, while UDP is connectionless. So those are the basic difference between UDP and TCP port. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. And it does OS detection. You can detect the OS, the operating system of the target, the version, can do pin swing, and a whole lot more you can do with Nmap. So there are several commands. Let me switch to my Kali Linux. We'll be able to see more of what I'm talking about. Yes. So this is my Kali Linux. What we'll be doing basically here, we'll be talking about all these options Nmap gives us by typing the command man. Sorry. By typing the command man for Nmap. Yes. So if you want, it's going to give us the manuscript, the information we need about Nmap. It's the Nmap, already the definition description. It was designed rapidly to scan large networks, works against single host code. So basically, if you are doing a port scan with Nmap, you might not get the correct or actual information you need. That is why you need the knowledge of like Python and other tool like Callis to send Cisco Callis arguably to perform your network discovery or let's say active recognition methodology. So this is information we have on Nmap. Let's go to the options that we have with Nmap. Yes, we have the input file name. We have the number of hosts, but we'll be limited to few options today, or over time we'll be talking more about it. And again, we still need to talk about some aspects we left behind in passive recognition. That will be in our next video before we move forward to other businesses of the day. So, so these are the port functions we're dealing with. When you do a option of PNE, you have to take note of the um, uppercase and the lowercase when you're trying to deal with them. You see P and a capital P, then it's a lowercase of n. You do a no ping scan. It's not going to ping the network because you need to sometimes you need to do a blind scan without pinging or seeing if the host is up because of probably firewall or filtering techniques whatsoever. So with a fast scan, we can specify the port we'll be scanning of. We would also need to know the service. If we have different options. So the option of A does an aggressive scan. That is why it is there. We have a whole lot of options. You can read um, more on the commands and how they function with Nmap. The option of it does an aggressive scanning that combines the operating system scan, combines the script enumeration scan. It also combines the service distribution scan together, performing an aggressive scan. You don't need to go keep scanning them one by one. And we also have the option of capital T and 0 to 5. Let me see if I could share that so we understand what I'm talking about. So this option will make you slow down. You could either slow down your your scan, or you can speed up your scan. This is what that is trying to see if we could find it easily in T series. You can read when you do the man, you can read every function of how you can use Nmap, what they do for you. Then we have the O option that does operating system detection. We have so many options. We have the one that do the script, this one with the scripting. We have a whole lot of options that we could lay our hands on. So if you read the manual, you'll be able to see. I was trying to share if I can show you how the T option works. But without any further ado, let's move to the practical aspect. Let's move to the practical aspect of sorry. Let's move to the practical aspect of Nmap. So let me switch to my Kali line. Excuse me. Yes. You want to know? Let me just open a new terminal. You want to know if want to know if our sorry, I want to know if we'll first try to know if our host is up. I don't know, my calendar is kind of misbehaving, so it's open to the desktop folder, but we'll see how you go about it. So let's do I want to just pick a random IP address just to be able to give an a sample of what we were talking about. So let's say this is the IP address. Arguably, I'll say this is coming from a firewall, this IP address, but then let's just try and use it for the practical demonstration of what we want to do. So we want to discover the host on our network by doing IPS option. This is my IP address with my subnet mask. So let's see what we have on our network. We want to discover what we have on our network. This is a virtual box, so I might not get a good result of what we want to do. So let me paste the option of SN. So let me paste the selection to see what host. Yes, this is telling me network card, network interface card is a virtual one. This is the MAC address. What it does, it uses ARP to map the host name with the IP address, MAC address with the IP address. So this is the IP address of the virtual box. I have about 3 here. So because it's a virtual box, we get that scenario where you get different information depending on the environment you are working with. There is also what we call net discover. Is an option to discover. We have when we go back to this, we have it is 0. This is our network. So we can also use this net discover to check for our host that is up. So I'm pasting my IP address again. Oh, sorry. This is for what we want to use for the Nmap scan. But this, what we are doing particularly here is we are doing host discovery. We want to discover the host on our network. So let me just type it .0.2.15 with a subnet mask of 24. So I don't know, I gave it because I'm using a VirtualBox saying no such devices seized. So let's move forward. We have a target IP that we want to work with. This is based strictly for educational purpose. So let's do the no ping scan. Let me copy this IP again. Let me perform the no ping scan and map. The no ping scan is not going to ping the network before giving us an information. Sorry. No ping scan, yes. That's what I was talking about. You need to be so conscious of the uppercase and the lowercase. So this is the information we are getting from this IP address. That all these ports are open. Basically, if you want to deal with Nmap or Reconnaissance, you should have the idea of port numbers. What service run on each port? We have port 22, the SSA, we have port 443, which is the HTTPS, port 80, which is HTTP. We should know all these port numbers when if you want to make work easier for you. So we've already discovered the services and the state of those services on this port. So let's keep moving. What do you want to discover next? We can do combinations of options. We can do the option of O might give us information of the operating system these ports are opened on. We can also do a fast scan because it is really rolling on. We can also do a fast scan to give us of operation. So he's guessing he's saying is working on Oracle VirtualBox. This is telling us if it's not reliable. Most times there are some information that are not reliable. Well, for example, we say a false positive. A false positive is saying that it's saying a vulnerability in this state now, maybe seeing a vulnerability and is saying it is positive, whereby this vulnerability is not actually a vulnerability. We have false negative, we have false positive, we have true positive, we have true negative. So these are the options we have. So let us just do, because of our time, let us do the aggressive scanning and the verbose mode. This verbose mode display more information regarding of what we want to do. We have the port option. We can specify the port we want to scan. We can specify any the port we want to scan using the P option with the lowercase of p. But because of time, we will be doing the aggressive mode. We can combine options. We can combine options by doing by adding the F options again for a fast scan. We can also be adding combining options with a T. This T does is the timing template. If you want to speed up your discovery, your search, what the MAP does, you can decide to reduce to slow down these processes. So it ranges from 0 to 5. It ranges from 0 to 5. So you can do between 0 to 5. That is, but yeah, I'm not saying you are doing 0 to 5 now. I'm just saying we can range our timing from 0 to 5. Is that we're speeding up or we're slowing down because there are some IPS intrusion prevention system might be on the network that you to need to slow down the process so that it's not going to block your request. So those are why those options are needed. We can also do the service detection scan. That's if you check if you open the manuscript, you'll see a different so many different options of options we have on Nmap that we can lay our hands on. But we'll be using the A just to make things easier for us, combining battery options together and do the verbose mode. And let's see our scan. Now, see, it keeps scanning about 1,000 ports. It's giving us the IP addresses of each port. This is 443, the HTTPS, we have the FTP, we have the HTTP, we have so many, and it's telling us this scan runs for I think it's still running, yes. 6.69 seconds, it's still running. So time elapsed So it's giving up information, it's still running, it's still running. So that is a, a part of Nmap, using Nmap to. There are so many things Nmap can do for you. Could do enumeration, could can use it to stay using looking for the right word now. You can use the Nmap to perform to leverage on a vulnerability and get access if if a port is actually vulnerable. So there is a whole lot you can do with Nmap. So I think it's running out of time, but you should have the idea of what we are trying to perform. So I will stop the processes now because it's kind of going up with time. What we do again, you can save your um you can actually save your scan. You perform the scan, you want to save it with TFT. Oh, sorry. Um, uh, when you're performing a vulnerability assessment or rather a penetration testing, you you have to um you have to save what you've done so that you can leverage on. When you're doing .txt with the option of on, see, I have the file here already. So it will save it as a text file. You can also use the option of OX, like X as xylophone, to save it in an in a sheet format. So when you're saving a sheet format, you can use it maybe for exploitation, or there are some file when you want to upload them in sheet. Basically, you have to do the shift. You have to use the sheet more to save in the shift format. So we have the test here. It's still rolling, but to save us over time, we might need to cancel the option, but you could see what we are trying to do. So basically, this is a function of how Nmap works. So from discovering your host, from discovering your host, your target, the the host on your network, Nmap, from discovering the host on your target to to um knowing the open port. From knowing the open ports, the services running, and know if they are closed or filtered or if they are open, then we actually was able to save the document for future references. We can we can know the operating system, we can know the version of the operating system, we can do a whole lot. You can do a UDP scan or a TCP scan. So basically, that is Nmap, using Nmap for active reconnaissance. Thanks for staying around. Thanks for watching. Or keep you in touch, and don't forget to subscribe. Next time, we'll be talking about the leftover of the information we did not include in previous videos before we need to move to our next stage of understanding IP addresses, subnetting, and